Here we are again at the Mexican consulate from Mexico in Los Angeles, and we're very, very happy because now we're gonna have a conversation with the winner of the best short film that the consulate chose. So we're gonna invite to Eli Fénix. Here is he. We're waiting for him. Hey, Eli, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing good, and yourself?
Oh, I'm very, very happy. We just had a conversation with Chris Ñeco that I know that now he's a good friend of yours, right?
I talked to him. Yeah, he's a good person to talk to.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
So, as you know, there were different prizes and recognition, but the one that the consulate chose was fantastic because it really reflected what we wanted to show to the world, to show to the people here. Of course, we advocate, we assist and protect the migrants, but now within, facing this pandemic, we really want people to recognize the work that the essential workers as farm workers are doing. So, Eli, tell me, why Fruits of Labor? Why did you think about that and making a short film about it?
Yeah. Well, I saw that the grocery workers at the stores were deemed essential, and they were being appreciated as they should. We go to the store and we just pick, and they're there being exposed to all the people, right? But if you deconstruct the supply chain, it starts with the field workers, with the migrant workers, and I wanted them to be recognized as well because they're also putting a lot on the line and risking their lives in order for us to be able to enjoy our delicious food.
Of course, but you don't have in your family any connection with a farm worker. It's just when you went to the supermarket, suddenly you realize that, wow, how come these strawberries are here and all the work that is behind them?
Well, I do have a connection, not necessarily with a migrant worker, with like a field worker, but I'm a first generation Mexican American. Both of my parents are from Mexico, and both of them sadly are exploited workers. I don't want to get too much into it, but
Yes.
I kind of saw like how that influenced my family dynamic, and I want to show the world, that people are being exploited, and that's why I thought that this would be a good idea.
Of course, it was a great idea. And if you allow me, I would like to show to the people that are listening this beautiful short film that you created. Just give me a moment.
No problem.
I when I saw it, I said, for me, this is the one. Wait. I'm gonna move this here so people can see.
Every day, hundreds of migrant workers greet the morning sun on their face. Bent at the waist, they pick, pick, pick. Back starting to hurt, sweat drips on the face, they pick, pick, pick. 6.50 an hour, not paid very well. They would be out marching with us, but they don't even have the right to protest. They just pick, pick, pick. From field to the shelf. We pay no mind to the journey, just pick the best off the shelf. Forgetting the sweet fruit costs sweat to drip from a sun-beaten face. Through the worst of the pandemic, considered essential. But due to lack of documentation, they're told by the system they have no potential. Considered subhuman due to lack of credentials. post-pandemic, the least we could do was legally recognize the rights of those deemed essential.
Hey, great, really. Oh my God. I just love that short film. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much, Elia. But when we have the ceremony to recognize you, you told me that you are producer, director, actor. Tell me about it.
Well, yeah, actually, believe it or not, that is my third short film ever. That is the third short film that I do.
Yes.
And I'm not a person with a lot of resources. I'm just a person with a lot of ideas. So I was able to gather my good friend and editor / production assistant Clara Ann, and with her help, we were just able to go ahead and put it together and just do the best that we could. So,
oh, wow,
yeah.
that's fantastic. But tell me something. How did you hear about the contest? Because you're not that close to the consulate. This is the first time that we get to know each other. So how did you hear about this contest, the Film the Future?
Yeah, so I managed myself. I managed to get myself into film school. So I'm really happy. I was really happy about that. I graduated in September, and I was in one of my classes, and a professor was like, "Hey, Eli, I think it was Cynthia Prado that messaged my professor Andres de la Torre, and he told me, Eli, I think this would be a good contest for you. Why don't you go ahead and give it a try?" And then I'm like, wait, that's like in a week. Like, I have to submit it in a week. So in a week, I went from concept to finished product, and I'm glad he told me about it. I'm really glad that Andres. Thank you, Andres.
Oh, everybody is congratulating you. See, from Colombia, Lucy del Águila is saying, great short film, congratulations.
Gracias.
So, yeah, I think that you're fantastic. So you have three, and the three of them are short films, or tell me about the other two.
Yeah, they're all three are short films. My first one, I was experimenting with fictional narrative. It's a 5-minute short film about a guy that wants to go home and relax, but the obstacles of life won't allow him to just to sit down and relax his mind. So I'm exploring that with my first film. My second short film, and my first documentary film ever, that's because it's called Sella Hip Hop Short Rap Battle. Rap battles, and it's a short documentary showcasing 2 rappers in Southeast Los Angeles. That's what Sella stands for. And these guys just want to rap and give it their all, and they're really like giving themselves to the craft. And I really respect that. Anybody that's willing to come out of their comfort zone and just try to give the world something, I was like, I'm gonna be there to capture it, you know. And I did that, and then I was working on what would have been my third short film. I was all of 2019. Every weekend that I could, every chance that I get, I went to Tijuana. Just a guy with a camera. I'm a guy with a camera legally, you know, because I don't have the backing of a studio or anything.
Yes.
So I went there out of my own pocket. I tried to tell the story of Tijuana, but from a different perspective, not a narco, drugs, violent crime, acknowledging it through exploring the life of Angel Alpuche, who's a reporter for Frontera newspaper in the city of Tijuana, and he works for the crime column. So his job is to go and type up a story for every crime that goes on in the city. He listens to a police scanner and goes to the crime scene. So I wanted to show that that violence does exist, but through his point of view, because it's kind of like it's a first row seat to everything that's going on, and just barely on the sidelines of the crime. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And I really appreciated that. But in contrast, I was gonna show him with another individual, a guy named Wesley Desir, and he's a phenomenal person. He's a Brazilian resident, but Haitian national, moved to Brazil. Couldn't find opportunity to do his master's there, so he found it in Tijuana. In Tijuana, UABC Tijuana gave him a scholarship to finish, he finished his master's, and then he went on he's getting his doctorate right now, and he teaches classes getting his doctorate at the same time in global relations. And I think that's just amazing because I want to study, I want to better myself. I go to America. That's the narrative that you hear. I go, me voy a los Estados Unidos, me voy para el norte, you know, but
Yes.
he's just like, I'm going to Tijuana, there's opportunity there. And I just thought it was a different angle, you know, than what we're used to seeing.
Yes. Wow. And currently, what are you doing, Eli? You said that you're starting school September, or?
Well, I'm almost done with school. I finished in September, so I'm kind of just going through the assignments that I need to do and working on my outside projects. And I'm trying to get a documentary off the ground, but it's still an idea. It's about the street vendors, eloteros, paleteros, flowers, frutas. And I want to see how they're dealing with the pandemic. I want to see how their supply chains are affected, their income, their livelihood. I think it's very important to explore because, I mean, sometimes as Mexican Americans, we tend to see it and they're just like, oh, this is my culture. This is, oh yeah, I'm buying flowers, I'm buying fruit. Look at me. Oh, I'm going to put tajin on it. And we don't look beyond that. We don't look beyond the person that is doing that. And I want to explore that, you know, having been a person that at one point did not look beyond that. My curiosity is like, I got to see what's going on in their lives through these difficult times. You know, they don't get a stimulus check.
Yes. And I think that is a fantastic topic. You know, we have a wonderful experience here at the consulate because we had a meeting with the FBI agents and with the street vendors.
Oh.
Because we want them to get to know each other and feel how they see things. Oh. And that was a very interesting conversation with a street vendor, and she was complaining that the police came and took their things, and what about respect? And then the FBI agent told her, well, but because you need a permit. But it was a very respectful conversation. And after that, and I want to thank the city of Los Angeles, they now are authorizing street vendors. It doesn't matter their status. So it doesn't matter if you're documented or undocumented, you're allowed to get this permit and sell your products. So this is very important. And maybe you have a venue there that you can explore as well.
That would be wonderful. Yes. That's a really cool point of view.
Yes. And
it gives them more credibility, bringing the FBI perspective into it. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, she's, this Asian FBI agent is our favorite. She is Voviette. And we can get you in touch with her, and she will be delighted to talk to you.
That would be amazing. Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, Eli, I have another question that I have for you. You're Mexican American, you were born here, and have you felt discrimination in any way?
Well, yes, and let me tell you I felt discrimination when I first came into this country, and I didn't speak any English when I was 8. And
you were here when you were 8. You were
see, funny thing. Okay, so I was born in Los Angeles, South Central Los Angeles, at the USC Medical Center, May 2nd, 1992, the day of the Rodney King disturbances.
Okay.
So I don't remember obviously what happened, but my family left, and then when I first came into being, like my first memories as like I'm a person, what is this? I'm gonna put it in my mouth, see how it tastes like. That wasn't until I was in Tijuana. I came into consciousness as a human in Tijuana.
Okay.
But I was always told, you're American, your life is going to be so much better. And I'm like, yo, I'm 5. I don't understand what you're saying. You know, like all my friends, we like Pokemon, we like to play cards or whatever. And then I moved from Tijuana at 8 years old to LA. And then where I lived and I've been here since. But because I had the privilege to do it because I'm American, I went to live with my mom in LA. And then when I came, I didn't speak any English. So I'm like, oh, one of those, I just crossed the border or something, you know, then I learned to speak English, so that wouldn't come into that wouldn't happen to me. I go back to Mexico, hey, they say hi to my homies, and no, pues es Pocho, he's not from here, and I'm like, like, you know. So yeah, this discrimination happens, you know, everywhere, and I've learned to not take it personal, because usually when somebody's discriminating, it's a reflection of that they're not comfortable with themselves. Yeah. And yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna make it go away. All I can do is try to make film to try to change people's perception, and hopefully it clicks. But discrimination's been a thing since we've been on this earth.
I know. And yeah, and that's very important what you're saying, because it's not just here, but also with Mexican Americans that go to Mexico, some of their families even, you know, like, oh, tú no hablas muy bien el español porque hablas así, ¿no? Entonces, they make fun of you, but they have to realize that that's who you are, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, like my Spanish is kind of like, sí hablo español, sí puedo fingir aquí que lo hablo muy bien y pues me salen muy bonitas las palabras, pero si no lo tengo bien pensado, o what am I gonna say? I'd rather English is more, I can be more fluent in my English, you know. But I think it would be cool if people were okay with Spanglish sometimes, you know, just why do you have to speak one or the other? Like if I can speak Spanglish with a person, the conversation is going to be so fluid, you know.
Claro. And the important thing is that you're able to express yourself.
Yes, true.
And you know, I have I don't know if I have here, oh no, they took it, but I have the coin that I'm going to give you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, because the consulate has been here for more than 130 years, so we want to recognize your short film. And,
thank you.
And well, among other prizes that you got, of course. So thank you so much, Eli. Really, you capture what we were trying to say, and you are allowing us to use this short film to recognize and to transmit our gratitude to all the essential workers, mainly the farm workers.
Thanks to them, we can eat every day.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah.
And now you know where we are.
Okay.
And we're gonna do a lot of things together.
Yes, looking forward to it.
So just to the end, I'm gonna let you go. If you can tell us an advice that has worked for you, for the people that is listening and watching you now, what would you tell them?
I would tell them, in regards to what, like advice to filmmaking, towards
whatever you want, like life, being young, when you want to be an artist or you want to be a producer,
okay,
or any dream that you have, whatever you think that is an important advice.
I think it's important that you never forget where you come from as an individual, but to not let where you come from define who you become. Okay. You know, because if I would have let that happen, I wouldn't be chasing my dreams as a filmmaker. I grew up in poverty, and I wasn't supposed to have the privilege to make film. And for a long time, I didn't believe it. Like, I'm not a filmmaker. I'm not a director. I'm not a writer. What am I doing writing these words? Don't let where you come from define who you are. If you have a dream, chase it regardless. If it feels right for you, nobody knows what's right for you but you. So be true to yourself and don't let where you come from define you.
Who you are. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. So, Eli, muchísimas gracias. Hablas muy bien español. No te preocupes, y ya lo vas a practicar con nosotros más.
Sí. Estaría bien.
Felicidades, Eli.
Gracias, muchas gracias. Que tengan buen día.
Chao.
Bye.